Today I want to work on a collage here on my canvas board, and for a little bit of something special I will be using my gold leafing. Now I had this for a while, but I finally figured out how to use it properly. Now before I start, I will also add some black gesso to my canvas board to give it a darker background, and then I will go through my stash of bits and pieces of paper. I know we all have this type of collection. It will be mostly craft paper, but also some jelly prints. Now before I get started, I will be showing you a couple of photos. During my last 4-core art challenge, I absolutely forgot to add one entry to the lineup. Dear Caroline sent me her photos early in the game, but somehow it slipped by. And so I promised her that I would add them to my next video. So here they are, two pieces, a booklet and a tag. They're full of interesting details. You did a wonderful job, Caroline. And again, my apologies. I won't do it again, I promise. So now back to my project here. I use my gel medium to glue everything down. I go a little bit by shape. Some of these pieces already have, others I have to cut down. I try to combine different colors and designs, and it takes me a little while, but it's a lot of fun. So I hope you will enjoy watching me do it. I will put some music on for you. There's really not much to explain, and because it took me a little while, I will speed it up a wee bit. Now towards the end I will use some mediums, and those will be in the captions. Enjoy, and I will talk to you in just a wee bit. So here's my piece all done and nicely dried after I used my spray for a sealer. Now I understand that it's absolutely necessary to seal this leafing, as otherwise it will tarnish. Of course, this is not the real gold. This is craft and art type of leafing, which pretty much all the artists use because the real stuff is just too expensive. So here's one more look at my city. I'm pleased with the way the shapes of the buildings and the roofs and all the colors work together. I like the blending with the stencils and the stamp down here on the bottom, and of course the gold leafing gives it that little something special. It has a great shimmer and shine, and I don't think you can achieve this with gold paint alone. Now, aside from needing to seal this, you absolutely need the right type of glue. Now, I had my gold leafing for a while and I used it on and off in my mixed media, but I never bothered to get the right glue, and this is absolutely essential to get a nice result. It's cheap, it's not expensive, so is the gold leafing. It's relatively cheap. You don't have to get this company, but you do need to get the special type of glue. It's very liquid, very watery, and extremely sticky. Now, if you look here on the top, you see some little black cracks. Now, I like that little distressed look, and that's the reason why I applied my gold leaf in bits and pieces up here. But you can avoid this if you use a big piece and you are careful at the seams. Now, the gold leafing will also bring out all the texture, so you can see the canvas beneath. I can even see some brush strokes I made when I applied the gesso. So if you like texture, this is great to accentuate it. Now, if you don't want texture, then you have to be really careful on what substrate you work on. So I think that's all I had for my big piece. But now to my show and tell. Now, my bag of leaves had 3 different colors. Aside from gold, it also came in silver and in bronze. So I tried them out in different ways on these smaller substrates. So it's a piece of wood, and here I started with the background, which had already been done for another project. So it had some yellow ochre, some black and some green, and also a bit of texture paste. I then added big pieces of the silver leafing, and it brought out the texture underneath really well. I don't know if you can see it. I then added crackle paste again, so here and there. And I colored just with my 2 waxes, not too much, a bit darker on this side, a bit lighter on this side. And then I added this cool picture of the crow and some strips of cardboard. I painted those black and with a very bright neon orange. There are also some orange dots. And that's it for this one. Pretty simple. And now for the bronze. For that one, I created a very colorful background, first with my paints, then with my gelatos going this direction. I then added some white gesso with my palette knife going up and some black gesso going down. And then I added the leafing, the bronze leafing, in pretty much the same way I did on the big picture. And then to finish it off, I added some rub-on feathers. They just had the perfect shape and color. I had this little set of rub-on feathers for a while, so this was a nice place to use them. Again, I have a black edge, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Now, this one I sealed with my Mod Podge, the glossy one. Yeah, this one was matte, this one was glossy. And now for the third one. In here I used again the gold leafing, but I covered the whole background. So I started with the gold background. I then added pieces of paper as a collage, some strips, some other bits here and there, the word save. I added some stenciling again around the edges and some splatter. I mostly used my acrylic paints and my alcohol inks to color because they worked really well on the gold. The water-soluble mediums did not work that great for me. I then finished it up by painting 2 butterflies, and for that I used my India inks because inks always work on all kinds of mediums. And because I had a lot of texture, I really sealed this well. I think it got 2 coats of the triple gloss, so it's very, very shiny, but feels great. You can still feel some of the texture, but it's also smooth at the same time. So here were my 3 pieces I present to you today for my show and tell. And here is a big one. Now, I hope you enjoyed this video today. Maybe it gave you some new ideas and some inspiration. I really liked working with this gold leaf. It's really simple and it gives a really nice effect. So that's all I had for today. I hope you come and see me soon again. Please stay safe. Please stay creative. See you latest next Friday. Bye bye for now.